Magandang umaga sa ating lahat. Good morning, everyone. We are here in our forest sanctuary. My husband and I, Briggs, who is my videographer, have been quarantined here for more than 30 days, as you have been quarantined also wherever you are. Because we know that we are all experiencing now this total lockdown in order to prevent the further spread of this virulent virus that has affected the entire world, the COVID-19. And I know that we are all suffering through this because, especially since this is a new virus and there's a lot of it is unknown. And we know that with uncertainty comes anxiety. So we are together in this anxiety, knowing also that we are not alone. But the anxiety is one part of this experience. But the virus or the pandemic, this worldwide crisis, has made us pause, stop, and think of what is it that we are doing to the environment, what is it we are doing in our lives that has caused us this kind of situation, and what is it that we may need to stop doing. We need to think about what do we need to stop doing, what do we need to keep doing, and what new thing we will be doing. Because I believe that one message of this virus is that we need to have a new way of living. We don't go back to the old normal. We learn from this and do something different, something new in our lives, a new way of living. But the other very important message here, I think, a very clear one, is that we need to go back to basics. To know what is essential and what is not essential, and what is basic in our lives. Of course, the most basic is physical survival. So how do we get our food, water, shelter, and all that we need to survive. But physical health always comes with mental health. So there is also, going back to basics also means we have to go back to the basic psychological needs. And that is what this video and the series of videos after this, the series of videos is all about. For this introductory video, which is one of 8, I'm just going to give you an overview of the 7 basic psychological needs. And every Wednesday, we will tackle one need until we come to the 7th basic psychological need. So that's the series that we're going to do. And now that we have learned how to kind of adjust to this being quarantined, not going out, being together 24/7, and stopping the frenzied life we have been living, I think it's important to have a basic framework to understand why we do what we do. In other words, basic framework that I would suggest that we look at now is what I call the 7 basic psychological needs, which are in this book called Back to Basics, the 7 basic psychological needs. And what I will do is to do the introduction overview now, enumerate the 7 basic needs with a little explanation, but then after this, every Wednesday we will tackle only one need at a time, and there will be some exercises and questions that will be given to you at the end of each of the need. Okay, but may I just read to you as a background of this book, so we will be more connected with each other in the discussion that we are going to have. In the back of the book, it says, in my effort to practice with mindfulness as a scientist practitioner, I ask the basic question, why do people do what they do? So aside from reflecting on my own experience, I also sifted through the complex psychological theories and researches and decided to go back to basics. Hence, this simple book, the 7 basic psychological needs. I hope it helps you gain a clearer understanding of your own needs and those of the people around you. With understanding comes compassion and resilience. So let me start now with the first basic need that we will talk about next week, which is the need for personal significance. The need to know, everybody needs to know that I matter. I am not nothing. I am not a non-entity. How do I matter in this life? We will talk about that next Wednesday. And after that, we will talk about the next need, which is the need for unconditional acceptance or affirmation, or simply love, which is very, very basic and something we have all talked about, but I will elaborate on it in terms of how we actualize it in our everyday life with people we are close to. And next is the need for clear and consistent limits, meaning discipline, regulation of self. How everybody needs to have limits. Children ask for it and they all need it. It's their need, but it is also their right to be disciplined with dignity. I'll talk about that. And then we have the next one, which is the need to have a sense of competence. All of us, each person, whatever age, especially when starting with young children until adulthood, late adulthood, we all need to know that we are good at something. We have to be something that we are proud of, and we have to know what that is and stand on it to give us our self-confidence. Next is what I call the need for affiliation. This is very basic, and this is what we are needing now, the need to belong, to have a support group, the need to connect with each other. There is a basic human need for human connection, and we need to know that we belong to our family, to a group, to a society, institution, whatever it is, we need to belong. After that, we'll talk about another need, which is to have a wide scope of self-expression. We need to be able to bring out what's inside of us into the outside world and not just accommodate to what the world wants us or what we should do, but what's inside us. So sometimes words are not enough, so we use the arts, music, art, movement, and all the other expressive arts, which I will talk about when we get to that point. And the last but not least, the seventh, would be the need for transcendence and beauty. Actually, the need for transcendence, I added the need for beauty because they come together. And the need for transcendence is very, very primary at this point. We need to have faith that something good will come out of it. We need to not lose hope. We need to know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. There is light. We need to have faith. We need to know that beyond this, there is something more than what we see. And in order to be able to transcend, we need to be able to be affected, to be a beholder of beauty. Because beauty, just like beauty of nature, is very healing, very uplifting. It also takes us out of ourselves into the outside world to appreciate what is around us, to appreciate the creation, the beauty of nature around us. And that will be the last need. So for now, let me leave you now, and I'll come back on Wednesday to talk about the first need. Thank you.